All right, and welcome to Fastbreak Breakfast NBA podcast. My name is Keith Parrish, and I'm here once again through the miracle of computer phone with my buddy Dave DeFore, Captain Coach Dave DeFore. How'd the sailing lessons go?
It was awesome. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think everybody should try it.
Nice.
Very fun. Yeah.
Have you been
learn a new skill?
Have you been boat shopping?
Oh, I've been boat shopping for years, Keith.
There you go.
I mean, I'm lucky to live 3 blocks from the Pacific Ocean,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a marina, I don't know, 15 minutes from my house. Always boats for sale. I think I've told you about freeboats.com.
Right. Yeah. We talked about it. I think on the show even.
I think we did. And there's always boats for sale. So yeah, I've been shopping. I really think I want just one of these little dinghies though.
Is it easier to pick up in California? Is it easier to pick up a boat or the NBA's marquee franchise? I feel like those are changing hands kind of frequently.
Yeah.
Out there.
I think, well, one's a money pit and one is printing money. So I think that's probably the Lakers a little harder to get.
Yeah, so Dave, the Lakers got flipped like a house. And
who could have seen this coming, Keith?
And apparently Mark Walters is very much underwater with a lot of investments and has the Department of Justice breathing down his neck, which doesn't honestly mean what it used to mean, but still.
It means he's gonna pay some people off.
It means he's gonna pay some people off, and the Lakers are getting sold. Jeannie Buss is objecting because she, of course, wants to keep running the team, sort of, and her family trust. Her siblings all don't like her, as far as we can tell, and they're trying to get rid of it. Mark Walters needs to be liquid, apparently.
Right. He
needs some payoff money real bad. Also, he probably needs to get the sale wrapped up so he doesn't pay any capital gains or whatever. Like, he wants to own the investment for less than a year. Somehow, the Lakers got sold in a deal that took 72 hours to go through.
It's weird how that happened, Keith.
What is going on?
Look, man, we've all seen The Godfather.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Also, the Clippers thing is getting weird too. It's always been weird, but then there was an ESPN article, and it's clearly the Clippers are negotiating, and the NBA is like publicly negotiating. Like the NBA is doing
late stage capitalism. Is this?
I don't know. It's like the league is doing front facing PR moves for quote unquote for an investigation. They're supposed to be maybe. I mean, Pablo Torre's always been all over the fact that like these investigations they're funded by Steve Ballmer and their leagues providing cover for themselves to do kind of whatever. That it's all so strange. Like I haven't thought of Tom Dundon in 2 weeks with all this stuff. Amazing. And Tom Dundon got his money, I think. I don't know.
I missed that if it happened.
Well, I know they voted, a lot of the Portland councils and things voted like their city money. There might be county money. There's also state money. I think it's all working out. Also, the schedule came out while you were learning to sail.
Yeah.
And Russell Westbrook, when faced with the prospect of joining the Washington Wizards again, said, "No, thanks. I'm out." And Russell Westbrook, one of the best players of all time.
Yep.
Retires. I'll miss Russell Westbrook.
I will too.
Anywho, for breakfast, Dave, I had gumbo.
Wow.
My dad was down at the beach, the Gulf, and on his way home. I mean, he picked up some gumbo from the restaurants down there, brought it home refrigerated style in a cooler. So I've been going to town on that. Haven't had anyone in my family, in my household, join me in the gumbo. So I've just been eating it for lunch, for / lunch breakfast. I mean, it's like a first meal of the day. I do love that gumbo. So yeah.
Imported gumbo.
That's right. Driven a few hundred miles. You know, Tennessee, not that far from a coast, even though I made fun of you when you would not admit that we're closer to Oklahoma City than we are to like the Atlantic Ocean. But if you go due south, it's like 400 miles. It's nothing.
Okay.
we're kind of equidistant between Chicago and the coast. It's a great place to be, Nashville, if you want to drive around and go do things. Have you had any food, Dave?
No. Too early.
Yeah, you just woke up. It's very early.
Too early.
Thanks for jumping on. On today's episode, I guess we'll talk a little about the Lakers, a little about the Clippers, and then the meat of this show, we're going to preview the Southeast Division. We're going to look at all these teams in the Southeast. We're going to try to figure out on each roster, one, who the best player is. Two, we're going to see how many players does this team have that they could flip for multiple first-round picks if they needed to. We're also going to ask just some random questions about each one, maybe try to figure out if there's any moves they made this offseason that we already forgot about. But before we get there, a little reminder, fantasy football's coming up. I know we're a basketball show, but we have multiple interests among our fan base, among our patrons. I like playing fantasy football, so for the 4th straight year, we'll have a Fastbreak Breakfast Fantasy Football League. If you want to join, you have to be a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. The draft right now, I think it's going to be lunchtime, Central Time, on August 30th, Sunday, August 30th. Ooh. If I can find a better time for people, I might move around. I know, Dave, you're planning to play. I haven't run that draft time past you. We had some Europeans play last year, so thus the night draft was not ideal.
Yeah.
So I want to get people involved.
Yeah, I just may be taking module 2 of my.
Oh, you might be out on a boat. We'll work it out. But if you want to,
just set it to auto draft.
If you want to play fantasy football, I think there's like 9 people signed up already. We had 18 one year and we ran out of quarterbacks. So I might have to cap it at like 14 or 16. But anyways, first come, first serve, patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. Before we get to the Southeast Division, are there any things that we need to cover more about this Lakers thing other than just how unbelievably bizarre it is?
How on its face it looks so corrupt. I don't know. I'm hoping that
part's not great.
Like some real journalists.
Also, like the whole 72 hours thing, whether you believe that or not, I do think it was somewhat fast-tracked. And I don't know what's the legal status of this. Is this like the Shams breaking, this signing is going to happen, but the signing is not going to occur, until free agency opens type a deal?
Well, they haven't had time to have the Board of Governors vote.
So, yeah, but also like this somehow comes through because it's a current part owner, Josh Kushner, who still is a part owner of the Heat.
He has to sell it. And
then he's also a former part owner, minority owner of the Memphis Grizzlies. So the Memphis Grizzlies to Los Angeles Lakers pipeline just continues. It's never been stronger. But then Bob Iger, of course, has plenty of dealings with the NBA throughout the years. Mm-hmm. It seems like they keep including his name in a very prominent way feels this is just sports washing from the actual league. It seems like, Bob Iger's in charge. Like Bob Iger doesn't have that money. Whose money is it? And now certainly there is some amount of, is it the Abu Dhabi money? There's a UAE wealth fund that probably is going to largely own the marquee franchise of the NBA. But I know it's supposed to be capped. I mean, the Qatari wealth fund owns, I think, 15% of one of the teams we're talking about today, the Washington Wizards.
They're buying our Lakers.
What's Adam Silver doing?
They might as well take the Lakers.
Like,
he doesn't care, right? Like his job is to make everyone rich. His job is to make money for everybody. And they've made so much money and they continue to make money. And now they have, like, professional sports teams are an asset class all of their own.
Yeah.
And because it's the last pure joy that we have in the world, sports, and rich people have decided they need to mine that for all it's worth. There it is. And Adam Silver is fine to sell it. It's why gambling is so pervasive in sports. They don't care.
I mean,
they want your kids to gamble.
Oh man, the gambling is so messed up. I don't know if people saw this, that they had, I think it might've been on Netflix. There was some Field of Dreams type thing going on at the actual Field of Dreams in Iowa. Mm-hmm. And they had all those, was it FanDuel or BetMGM? Just the entire outfield
FanDuel.
wall where shoeless Joe Jackson, Ray Liotta disappears into the ether. It's covered in gambling ads now. And it's just like, the world is so horrified. So messed up. We have lots of gambling on Little League baseball. Gambling's going on. We have political races where it came out today that the polling companies, one of the polling companies that had like one of the candidates way ahead was fake. They're just made up. And it 100% certain that had to do with poly market betting or whatever. Like,
I believe, was this Wisconsin?
Yeah. Well, also the LA mayor's race, there was a poll out, same thing, but it's like, apparently some journalists were like trying to figure out, where'd you get your numbers? And they're like, turns out we made it up. We're not real. It was a social experiment. One
of those betting markets had the loser 95% to win.
Yeah.
So, you just got, I think, the thing you've got to remember, if you're one of those folks that just wants to throw your money away, light it on fire on these gambling markets, is that idiots in your life and they're doing the same thing. So Well, so one of the things about, maybe it's a story about how wealth is, it's incomprehensible. The amount of money needed to buy the Lakers and the amount of money needed for Steve Ballmer to be able to control the NBA and do whatever he wants. There is a preponderance of evidence that Kawhi Leonard has no show endorsement deals. Yeah. Like does then allegedly need to be slapped on there? Like, Kawhi Leonard was making money from all these other things where he was doing nothing. Right. And the CBA says, unless it can be rationally explained, that's circumvention. It feels like a preponderance of evidence there's circumvention. Yet maybe we're just in a post-law world. They added a gather step to the salary cap. I saw you posted that on social media. It's so funny. The gather step moving backwards for the the 3-pointers. Yeah. Maybe we should have actually just stopped it right there. Maybe that was the tumbling block, the domino that started this. And now the salary cap doesn't exist. Pay whatever players, whatever you want. Hey, there's a lot of people that say you go back to Tim Donaghy, right? Like, oh yeah. Yeah. Scott Foster still calling the finals. I mean, I don't know. I don't own the league. If it dies because the fans just completely feel like it's all a work. Yeah. That's not my problem. The owner of the Grizzlies is being sued by Ukrainians for funding the Russia's terror war against them. Or providing them the assets they needed to launch their drones. I don't follow the NFL, but I'm assuming that their owners are just It's so bad, funny where like the NBA the NFL owners still, to a large part, as far as I know, and of course we know way more about the NBA owners because we're in the NBA world and we're following this constantly. They're still mom and pop style owners. Right. Like, even though the Cowboys might be worth more than the Lakers now, that's Jerry Jones. Yeah. And all right, he might have got a little overextended with the mafia back in the day. But it's like, who didn't? But there's a lot of like mom and pop things. But it is funny when I think about the wealth being incomprehensible. I'm going to make this about me. I think about how, right? About your house? No, sure. No. Yeah. I was just talking about how like financially I'm better off than I ever thought I would be. And yet when my middle school son got his first choice in band, and he's going to be percussion in the 6th grade band. And they were like, here's $100 worth of mallets and sticks you need to buy. I was like, what? Like $100 for drumsticks? Get out of town. So I recoil. And I will tell you the two most luxurious things in my life right now, Dave. These are my standards of luxury from I think this goes back to my childhood. Sure. I have Gatorades in my pantry. Wow. And I'm not planning to play a sport anytime in the near future.
For me, that was the ultimate level of luxury as a kid. Like this kid, his family has they have Gatorades in the pantry. He's not even playing a game today. I'm like knowingly doing this, and part of this might be my Lego addiction I've gotten into. This is obviously I'm just fulfilling childhood fantasies. So my two childhood fantasies I'm doing right now: Gatorade when I don't even need it, just having it around, and I bought a basketball rebounder to hang on my basketball goal. This thing costs $30.
Wow.
And it doesn't even work very well. Mm-hmm. But it's like hard plastic piping that you hang on the rim. And as long as the shot doesn't roll around on the rim too much, it sort of pushes it back towards where you were. And for me, I'm like, a basketball rebounder in Gatorade? Good Lord, I have it made. And yet, when they're like, hey, man, you got to buy some marimba mallets. I was like, I will not. I will find some. Thank you very much. I will find some hand-me-down drumsticks from the last kid.
Is there not a secondhand music store?
There's got to be.
Marimba mallets, like they last forever.
Well, part of me was wondering, yes, maybe with my free time, because I have some free time compared to a lot of people, I should be organizing just the band recycling equipment. But then I didn't know how much of the American economy is being held up by like 5th and 6th graders having to buy band equipment in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh man, like four music stores closed because parents stopped buying the same things every year at a horrific markup. Anyways, we've rambled long enough. Let's take a break and we'll come back. We'll talk about the Southeast Division. All right, Dave, since it's August, we've been going through, or we started a couple weeks ago, previewing each division, kind of refreshing ourselves. Maybe for me, it was just doing the actual homework of seeing where everybody landed after the draft and free agency and such. And we're going to ask a handful of questions about each team. We're doing the Southeast Division. Last episode was the Central Division. Please check that out. By the way, I didn't even do this. I guess maybe I meant to do a breakfast in bed apology after the breakfasts, but here's the one apology I guess I will give from last episode. Not necessarily an error, but we were going through the Central Division. We're picking out all the players that could theoretically be traded for multiple first-round picks. We blew right by James Harden. And I didn't think, well, one, he's not actually signed. But two, we assumed he was signed. But even if he was signed, I don't think he would get moved for multiple first-round picks. Although I guess it's worth a conversation. I guess maybe reasonable people could disagree.
Sure.
I mean, so I guess
it's 38.
He's really old.
Yeah.
I can't, maybe if he signed for less than expected, but I can't imagine James Harden on like a $40 million deal, someone paying multiple firsts to get that guy. So that means the Central Division ended up with 10 players. We felt like 10 players who were not, we excluded players drafted this year.
Right.
They had 10 players total. We'll see if the Southeast Division has more. And we're going to go, like we did last time, in order of their record, the order they finished last season. So we will start with the Atlanta Hawks, your Southeast Division champions from last year, won the Southeast after trading Trae Young to the Wizards. Let's start here, Dave. This is easy. Their best player.
Oh, it's Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson by a mile.
Yeah.
That's not hard.
Big thing he needs to do. I just would like for his defense to be better. Like the offense is great, but he's got too important of a job defensively, and especially when CJ McCollum's out there, like he's just got to do more. But I think, man, he's on his way.
They did pick up some defensive help in the offseason. They got Lou Dort, Aaron Wiggins, and Devin Carter. They picked up all those guys essentially for nothing, just taking on players who were getting dumped by other teams that were shedding salary. They unloaded Zachary Risachet.
Yeah, it was a good move too.
Vibes reset, perhaps. Also, Kyle Korver left the front office. That happened yesterday.
Yeah. Well, and then they signed Tim Bontemps.
Oh yeah.
So that was a trade.
I'm in favor of teams continuing to hire podcasters. I know Tim's a reporter.
I agree.
Put the podcasters in the front office.
Now, the Ricochet trade,
yeah,
I actually forgot about this part of it. They got Ryan Nembhard. That's a good pickup.
So that's one of our questions. Is there a move that you forgot about? Ryan Nembhard being part of the Ricochet trade.
Yeah, I like it. Now they've got so much guard depth. All of a
so
sudden.
here's the move I sort of forgot about was picking up Devin Carter, getting Devin Carter in a salary dump. So this team is interesting. They have a lot of useful players. I don't think they all fit together that great. But let's go into the big question. How many players do they have that could get traded for multiple first-round picks? Jalen Johnson, hands down. Yes. After
maybe
that,
Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I
think that was a close one.
He's borderline, right?
Yeah. I think they have two guys on the fence for this, Nickeil and Dyson Daniels. Like, he's such a specialized player, but maybe if they were like, listen, we have too many guys, we don't need him to play, which honestly might make sense. Like, we'd rather play Lou Dort instead of him. We'd rather.
And maybe you're a team that
keep CJ McCollum.
Those like flashes that Dyson Daniels has shown when he's on the ball.
Yeah, so
I could see it.
It's a hard one where I don't think hands down. Because again, when we do this discussion, you consider how little Jaylen Brown went for. You consider Trae Young getting dumped last year. Then you consider, well, Lakers paid up for Walker Kessler. Although, can they get out of it now that they're like, listen, our owner was doing financial malfeasance?
Oops.
What are the Dodgers going to do? What does Major League Baseball do when it's like, hey, our two-time World Series champions spent fraudulent money that they did not have? Sports leagues, man. What can you say? I think the Hawks are one of the hardest teams for this because I think Dyson Daniels and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I would say no for both.
Oh,
but it's more of a gray. It's nebulous.
Yeah.
It's they could.
I mean, obviously it'd be like team dependent, but
it is team dependent. They both have reasonable-ish contracts. I would say maybe Dyson's is slightly too much.
Yeah, I would say Nickeil. I would say 2 for Nickeil, on the fence for Dyson Daniels.
I think because Nickeil makes less. Yeah, we're going to give the Hawks 2. We're going to say 2 players could get traded for firsts. Are any rookies in their rotation, Dave?
Oh, yeah. Kingston Flemings is going to play for them.
Over who?
This is the funny thing, man. Like, I think he's going to maybe be their third guard. Like, that he doesn't turn the ball over. He's maybe a little small. I don't know. We'll see. But I think that he's going to play. And I talked to some people like this at Summer League about it, and they expect him to play too.
Okay.
But that's why the Nembhard thing I kind of
he's gonna beat out Ryan Nembhard if that's the case.
Possibly.
I mean, they're interesting where like Dyson is not really a point guard, even though he's fantasy eligible at point guard in most places. You got Nickeil and CJ, also not point guards, but they're sort of guards. And then there's Devin Carter, same thing. None of these guys are like primary, but all those players, I think Devin Carter, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, CJ McCollum. Maybe I'm wrong about Devin Carter, but I'm thinking they would play over Kingston Flemings, but maybe not. Maybe the high draft pick, you get him on the court. I do think
the thing about it is Jalen Johnson helps mitigate that lack of point guard. So you don't have to have a point guard on this team because you do have Jalen Johnson.
I also think maybe looking at the front court that Ejiofor might actually end up in the rotation, because my one, I don't know if it's a criticism of the roster. My one takeaway looking at the roster all laid out where I'm like, the front court seems a little light and
small.
Yeah. So like if they're starting Jalen Johnson at the 4 and a Congo at the 5, you're like really depending a lot on Jock Landale to be your backup 5. And then is Lou Dort a 4? Like, who are your other 4? Where's your power forwards? Who's playing?
Dyson Daniels is going to play some 4.
Okay. So yeah, they seem small. So I think Fleming and Ejiofor have a chance of actually being in this rotation. What's their best 5-man lineup in your mind? I think it's a weird team. It's kind of a fun team, and they have a lot of great feelings based on how everything ended last year. Great second half of the season. But it's kind of a strange roster.
Well, it's funny because I think that the big difference is going to be it's Dyson Daniels at the 3, or is it Aaron Wiggins at the 3? You know,
I mean, Aaron Wiggins looks so good at times.
Yeah, and if he's making shots, I think you could see him play over Dyson Daniels. But it's probably that same lineup they were doing: McCollum, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Okongwu.
Yeah, is
my guess. I mean, I wish that they could upgrade at the 5. Okongwu is a good player, but if they had, a defensive anchor, right? Like if they had a Rudy Gobert, this team would be so much better. Like that's kind of what they need. Of course, Rudy Gobert's don't grow.
It's like they need. Ideally, they could somehow turn Corey Kispert and maybe Buddy Hield, who's somehow still on this team, turn that money into like a 4/5, even like a Naz Reid or something, some kind of just bigger guy. Yeah. But they're a fun team. I mean, they're exciting, and I think reasonably so. Their fans are enthusiastic about the season. They just have a lot of like kind of, I don't know. None of the pieces don't all totally fit together in my mind, which might just be a personal problem for me, where I'm like, who is your large? Like, is Dort a 3? Is Dyson Daniels going to come off the bench? Is CJ McCollum going to come off the bench? Like, I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's a fun team. Southeast is going to be fun. Let's go to the next team that finished a game behind them in what would be called a very disappointing season, the Orlando Magic. Only won 45 games last year. Is this an easy question? Who's their best player?
It's not that easy. Because it's night to night, man. I mean, I would say Paolo is their best player, especially when you get to the playoffs. He has been a playoff riser. But is he like is Paolo is the focus, the best version of this team? I don't know.
It's hard because Paolo is the most, maybe it's just picking words apart. He's the most talented player to me. He's the most dominant player on the team. But I think for most NBA rosters, if you're allowed to steal one player from the Magic, you're probably not stealing Paolo. You're probably stealing Franz Wagner or Desmond Bane, because those guys are more portable. Those guys fit alongside more players more easily. So that makes it a harder question. So it's probably Paolo is the best player.
If Franz doesn't get hurt, they beat the Pistons.
If Franz could make a jump shot, what happened? It's been, 2 years
Ankles,
now?
Man.
Since he can't hit 3-pointers. The next question we go to, how many players could you trade to get multiple firsts for? The Magic are loaded. Yeah. It's at least 3.
It's at least 3. And maybe 4, because Jalen Suggs, they're definitely Anthony Black might get you 2.
Anthony Black's is all dependent to me on what kind of contract he signs.
Right.
If they get him like Anthony Black at MLE money, you know what? A team would probably give you 2 first-round picks just to get that guy in. If it's more like 25, 30 million, which is probably what he's expecting, more of that Dyson Daniels money. Yeah, I mean, like it's a weird one. Like I almost want to put them at 4 because it's 3 clear cut, and then I think Suggs and Black are like maybe.
And think about this. Look, they won 45 games last year. Franz Wagner played 34. Anthony Black only played 64.
That's the whole thing.
Suggs
their best
57.
Their best 5 guys didn't play together.
Right.
I mean, of course, it's been a disappointing little run for the Magic, and they made that huge investment to pick up Desmond Bane, and they're, I think, the most expensive team in the East, maybe, and yet they're like the 10th or 11th best team, arguably, maybe. I mean, they're going to be in the fray. They're going to be in the fray from 4 to 11, and yeah, they're a weird one to figure out. Move I already forgot about, Dave. Here it is. Just the name of their head coach. I knew they had a new coach, but this morning I had no clue what his name was. Sean Sweeney. Sean Sweeney he
was with San Antonio. He's with Dallas.
They have a very clear-cut starting lineup. And again, the guys, Suggs, Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr. did not play that much together last year. If they're healthy, they're probably one of the best teams in the East. Their bench is a huge question mark for me now. I'm not in love with a lot of the players they have there. I mean, their one offseason move was bringing back Nick Vucevic,
which
for me is a why.
Well, they lost Mo Wagner.
They did break up the Wagner brothers,
and Vooch is cheap. He's a veteran minimum.
Yeah.
My thing is, you have Goga.
He's not better than Goga, is he?
He's not better than Goga. He is not better than Goga.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I guess he's insurance because everyone's hurt on this team all the time. I mean, Goga played 64 games last year, right? Like, it's not like they need bodies. The thing that, like, you're worried about their bench. They have basically no backup guards outside. It's Anthony Black.
Well, Anthony Black, sixth man, and then thanks for being back, Javon Carter.
Right.
I mean, maybe some of these,
like Jace Richardson,
no.
Right. Like, so their bench is going to be rough. I imagine that they'll be, again, if they're healthier, this is a borderline 50-win team next year.
Do any rookies make the rotation?
I don't think so.
What about Kareem Lopez as an energy big? Oh, wait, he's on the Grizzlies. They traded that pick. That's my bad.
Mm-hmm.
No rookies.
Well, they knew they were going to get Vooch. A Vooch in the hand.
Oh, man. All right, let's go to the next team, the Charlotte Hornets. They finished one game behind the Magic, who finished one game behind the Hawks. Of course, they were on fire to finish this season. Had the best net rating over a 20-game span or something until the Knicks came along in the playoffs. The best player on the Hornets is
Brandon Miller.
Yeah, right? Pretty comfortably, maybe?
Yeah. I think so.
Mileage may vary, I guess. I think it's Brandon Miller.
Yeah, I think it's Brandon Miller.
Players you could get multiple firsts for if there was a fire sale. Of course, Brandon Miller. Also, Con Knippel. Coming off that awesome rookie campaign. That's got to be it, right? Naz Reid. Would Naz Reid get a couple? People like him.
Maybe.
His money.
Maybe.
I don't think anybody else is.
The money is pretty good for him, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to say hard no. Nobody else in this roster. So they're going to have they kept Kobe White. They of course moved on from LaMelo Ball. Kobe White, Con Knippel, Brandon Miller, Naz Reid, Moussa Diabate probably starting.
Moussa Diabate. I mean, maybe they start Steinbach. He's huge.
Is he going to beat out? Well, so let's jump ahead. Is a rookie going to end up in the rotation? You think Steinbach's going to beat out Kalkbrenner and Diabate and Naz Reid?
I think he'll play. I thought Christian Anderson had a good shot at getting minutes, but then they make the trade for Dennis Schroeder.
They pick up Dennis Schroeder as the Cavs.
Which, by the way, 3 Germans on the team.
Not bad.
Pretty good. I mean, is this all a play to get Franz Wagner?
Oh man, it should.
Could Franz Wagner, he would kind of fit on this team pretty well.
Man, should they make a Godfather offer? Because they have contracts. Yeah. They have the greatest stack of contracts maybe in the NBA as far as movable contracts. You don't really care if you lose them.
Right.
Like Grant Williams money, Grayson Allen money. Dorian Finney-Smith is on this team, if you missed that one. I mean, Dorian Finney-Smith had a horrible season last year. Maybe he bounces back a little bit as he gets further removed from some injuries. But you could match salary. I mean, Tijan Salon's money. You could match salary for any player in the NBA. Maybe they take some of that stuff they got. They didn't get that much for LaMelo. But some of those swaps, they're an interesting team.
I mean, the Minnesota thing could just blow up.
It could. Any move they made you already forgot about?
No, not really. Because I actually think that I don't love moving on from LaMelo, but if that's the decision that you've made because you don't want to pay him, okay. And I think that if that's your path, they did pretty well. I think they added some depth. I mean, this is if they don't flip these guys, but I think Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal, those are guys that they could have used last year.
Royce O'Neal is the one where I kind of forgot. I was like, oh yeah, Royce O'Neal was part of that package too.
And
with Miles Bridges going away.
with the way this team likes to shoot threes, I think Royce O'Neal's going to have a big year.
He's one of the best corner 3-point shooters in the NBA.
Yeah.
And
will they generate them the same without LaMelo?
It's a fair question. But the shooting they have with Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal coming in to join Con Knippel and Brandon Miller, and like Kobe White gets him up, like that's pretty awesome. And I think they're going to be a lot of fun. And they also, again, they made a big move.
Mm-hmm.
I was in favor of it. I play fantasy basketball with a lot of Hornets fans. They were pretty brokenhearted about moving on from LaMelo Ball. To me, it was a clear-cut sell high. They'd monitored LaMelo's minutes so much last year. Mm-hmm. The fact that he put in a healthy season, they were like, this is our chance to get out. I know it's going to hurt a little bit. I mean, maybe they try to win over the fans with all the Duke and UNC players they have. But they're going to be, I think, a competitive team. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it's going to be how far can Brandon Miller and Con Knippel carry them? How much can they develop? Because you have a supporting cast that I think could carry all-star players to a lot of wins. Or maybe
that offense with LaMelo, though, was something else, man.
Yeah.
Like they were on another planet. And so, like, they maybe took a step back.
Yeah.
But it's a temporary one. I mean, I think they're on the right path. They've been making smart moves. It's like a nice surprise.
All right. The team that finished one game behind the Hornets last year, who finished one game behind the Magic, who finished one game behind the Hawks. The Miami Heat. The Miami Heat, who got their guy, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh, I thought you meant Bobby Portis.
And they got Bobby Portis. Okay. This team has two players they could trade for multiple first-round picks, being Giannis and Bam.
Yep.
The end.
Mm-hmm.
I think this team might stink.
Yeah, I think
so. I have been lower on them. I feel like I've mentioned this in every podcast I've done this summer. The more I look at them, the more I think they're bad. They have Giannis and Bam. Oh, and who's their best player? Giannis. I mean, Giannis is one of the best 5 players in the world still.
Yep.
You get Giannis and Bam and Andrew Wiggins, who I'm higher on than most people.
Right.
And then they have nothing. They have, I would say, I haven't done this legwork. They have the worst 4 through 15 in the NBA.
I think so too.
I think this is Bulls, Nets, Kings level 4 through 15. I mean, they don't have 15, first of all.
Their backup center is Bobby Portis.
They have like 10 guys. I mean, they have a handful of people I don't really know. I'll be honest. But we're probably starting Davion Mitchell and then who?
Tim Hardaway.
Tim Hardaway or Simone Fontecchio or Pele Larson?
It's going to be Tim Hardaway.
That's like their whole team. Will any rookies be in the rotation? Yes, but I don't know who they are. They'll be 10-day contract guys or undrafted free agents. They got to fill the roster out. I guess this Ryan Conwell guy who got drafted in the second round, he's going to get a ton of minutes, I assume.
He's 6'3", might be the backup point guard to Davion Mitchell. Who knows?
You know who might actually, I know it'd be controversial, but you know who might actually be perfect on this team? Terry Rozier. And maybe Malik Beasley.
Well,
they need a backcourt.
They could.
Laws don't matter anymore.
You don't have to pay him that much, just to let him.
Why doesn't this team have why isn't DeMar DeRozan here?
I feel like that's a real thing that might happen. And it's sort of like Mathurin hasn't signed yet.
But they have no mechanism to get Mathurin.
Right. But I mean, I think that there's a bunch of business that's going to wind up getting done in the next, a couple weeks heading into training camp. And I think DeMar DeRozan, they basically have to sign DeMar DeRozan. Honestly, why aren't they on the phone right now talking to Russell Westbrook? Trying to beg him, come play, So
hey, I'm a little surprised Bradley Beal said no. I don't know if I don't know if it was an offer.
Yeah.
But Bradley Beal going back to the Clippers.
Also
I get
weird.
it. Is it worth moving cross country for the same amount of money? Probably, maybe not. Although the taxes you'd save on your,
not really.
I mean, again, we understand.
Yeah, not those.
No income taxes is sort of a scam.
Sort of.
So I don't see how they have any mechanism to get any of none of these players who are available still. I'm actually now scrolling through Hoops Hype best remaining free agents.
Give me it's DeMar is the number one, right?
Well, I mean, you have all the the restricted, the Jalen Duren probably going back to the Pistons after everyone gets real angry with each other. I mean, with James Harden, what's the least amount of money he would just be like, you know what, I go live in Miami. But I mean, you got Mathurin, they have no mechanism to get him. You have Peyton Watson, no mechanism to get him. Kuminga doesn't even really help this team. It's DeMar DeRozan does not fit on this squad, except for the fact you need someone who can do anything on the roster. And he can pass and he can create his own jumper.
Yeah.
It'll be clogged toilet offense. Honestly, Brandon Williams, why not? Brandon Williams can at least penetrate. He can do a little something. No, they need players who are guards. Yeah. And I don't understand how they couldn't find any.
This whole thing where they were just going to figure out the team around Giannis once they got Giannis. I mean, to me, they traded a play-in team for a play-in team.
Yeah.
Now, if you're telling me that this is a gap year, I think it's funny to have a gap year.
Sure.
After you trade
for this stage of Giannis and Bam in their careers.
Yeah. But okay. So then I guess it's all about next summer.
I guess I am not optimistic about the Miami Heat. One, because the East, as everyone has pointed out, has gotten better. Mm-hmm. We assume eventually Kawhi will end up in the East. The Atlantic Division outside of the Nets, I think, will be terrifying. These other teams in the Southeast Division, like the Hawks and the Magic and the Hornets and even the Wizards, might be pretty good.
Well, you just said the clogged toilet. I mean, this team is going to have some of the worst. The Miami Heat is going to be one of the worst teams to watch in the NBA.
Quite possibly.
Their defense may be really good, like stiflingly good, with Giannis and Bam and Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins. Like they can play defense.
Yeah.
And so it may be hard to watch on both ends, because on the other end, they're going to be playing in a phone booth. Teams are going to be able to zone up against them.
I mean,
say, please shoot.
I was about to say Klay Thompson buyout, but even I don't know how much juice he has left to give. I mean, just stand on the perimeter and launch threes. Is it too?
Like Klay is more of a 4 at this point.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's a tough ask for the Heat this year that they have. But I think we answered all of our questions, which was to hit on this team. Let's take a break.
I'm hoping Klay winds up on the Lakers, by the way. I know that's like, we don't like to. I don't need
Klay taking the minutes of Zaire Williams and Matisse Thybulle. Let's take a break and then we'll come back for what I think is maybe the most interesting team in this division, the Washington Wizards. All right, Dave, the Washington Wizards. They lost 26 of their final 27 games last year.
They got it done.
They traded for Trae Young, which cost them nothing. And then it cost them everything, as they surprisingly paid him every dollar possible, essentially. We thought it was like, hey, why not? Trae Young, why not? We have a bunch of young players. He can help our young players. And then, I don't know, they gave him all the money. Now, they have one of the weirder rosters in the NBA. And I think they're maybe the most interesting team in the NBA for me personally. Part of that is they're a franchise that just stinks historically. So you're not burnt. No one's burnt out on the Wizards.
Sure. Right.
They have Trae Young and Anthony Davis. Also, one of my favorite players, Chris Middleton. And then this bevy of young players, including number one overall pick, AJ Dybantsa. So who is their best player? really hard question. I feel like.
I think it's listen. I think it's Anthony Davis.
I think
right?
theoretically healthy, it would have to be Anthony Davis.
Right. But there's a chance that it's AJ Dybantsa.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Looks really good.
He looks really good. Yeah.
So
George,
probably Anthony Davis is their best player, and he is, according to reports, not going to sign an extension in the offseason. Way to finally put your foot down a little bit, I guess.
Seems risky for him, though.
Wizards. How many of these players, and again, we ignore the players drafted this year, how many of these players could you swap out for multiple first-round picks? We know it's not Trae Young. The Hawks couldn't get anything for him, and that was before this massive extension kicked in.
Maybe Alex Sarr?
I think, I think Alex Sarr, yes. I still think it's early enough in his career going into year 3 that, maybe. Probably. If someone was like, well, listen, we're giving up. We have DeAndre Ayton. Why do they have DeAndre Ayton?
Well, he could be a fine backup.
He's going to buy into being Alex Sarr's backup. Also, shouldn't AD be the backup 5?
Well, no, Anthony Davis is not a center.
I know. Oh man. I think the question is, okay, if AD shows proof of concept and plays 30 of the first 35 games, you could flip him probably. Except his contract is so big. Then we get into this whole, maybe he's untradeable to a degree. So I don't even know if you would get 2 first-round picks for Anthony Davis. Because who's the team? Is it the Wizards? Is it the Hornets? Because honestly, you just package all those Dorian Finney-Smith plus Grayson Allen plus Grant Williams. Who cares?
Yeah, but then you say who cares, but then you got to sign Anthony Davis to that extension.
So maybe he's not worth 2 first-round picks.
Maybe not.
If he was worth 2 first-round picks, would the Wizards have already traded him?
Maybe.
This is a tough one. I think Alex Sarr probably yes. I'm going to say actually Keyshawn George yes.
Yeah.
I think he's the young-ish player. You might not get 2 unprotected first-round picks, but he's the type of player that great playoff teams, I think, would be like, you know what? Yes, that guy on his rookie deal. Absolutely. So I'm going to say Keyshawn George yes.
They might be huge in their starting lineup outside of Trae Young.
Well,
they may be massive.
If it were up to me, I think I would do Keyshawn at the 2.
Yeah.
And then AJ at the 3, and then AD and Sarr. Yeah. Their bench, if that's the starting lineup, their bench, you have Bub Carrington, Trey Johnson, Koulibaly,
Middleton,
Justin Champagnie, DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
And you know who looked amazing?
Will Riley can play.
Will Riley looks incredible at Summer League.
Yeah.
If I were another team, I would be trying to find out how to free Justin Champagnie. He can play basketball.
Yeah,
he's good. He rebounds hard and he defends and he just knocks down open shots. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting because they're entering actually attempt to try phase. And does that mean that you play Champagnie more, or was he not getting played because they didn't believe in him? I always thought he wasn't getting played because they're like, we don't really want to win that much. And we want to play the guys we've drafted. You know, there's the priorities for franchises to develop their guys. Like, listen, we're going to give Koulibaly all these minutes and
before they shut down
Trae Johnson. So I don't know. I mean, Cam Whitmore's still here. The Chris Middleton thing, I don't totally get. It was salary related to help out they got stuff for it to help out the Mavericks. Any rookies in the rotation? Yes, of course.
Oh yeah.
We think AJ Dybantsa is probably going to start. So what do you think? You think the best 5-man is that starting lineup we said with Keyshawn?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Trae Young, Keyshawn George, Dybantsa, AD, Sarr. That's solid.
Most interesting team in the NBA to me. I hope they're any good. but I don't know if they will be good.
I mean, it's the East, right? Like, and the East got better, but I think that they got a shot. I think it's a play-in team.
How many years ago was it where if you had told a person, an NBA fan, this team has Trae Young and Anthony Davis and then just average NBA players around them, how many games is that? Like 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, you're like, actually a really good team. That's like probably a top level playoff team.
Right.
And I think the guys they have surrounding Trae Young and Anthony Davis are a little bit better than just average NBA guys. I think there's a lot of really good, useful players here.
Yeah.
It seems like it could work, but it also feels like it is more likely to be a train wreck. So, seems like they're going to wizard this up.
Someone in the East has to win, Keith.
I mean, the odds are not on it being the Wizards, where there's probably 11 teams that I think most people assume are going to be better.
You like Miami better than you like the Wizards right now on paper?
If you're asking me to take an even money bet on which team wins more games, I would say Miami. If you were to give me odds that favored the Wizards, I probably would say I'm not betting Miami at like minus 200 to win more games than the Wizards. Actually, I got to know. Wizards over under wins 35.5. Oh,
wow.
I bet Miami's is like way more than that. Miami Heat over under wins 40.
40?
45.5. The Heat are expected to win 10 more games than the Wizards. That's action I will take. The Miami Heat will not win 10 more games than the Washington Wizards.
You gotta write that one down.
Let's answer
any questions.
A single listener submitted question. Actually, we might do two. This is the croissant questioner.
Knock yourself out.
David Smith wants to know, in the pre-relegation zone era, a large factor for predicting how a team would do was if they either did or did not have their own draft pick. If they did not have their own pick, the logic was they would try harder, as it wouldn't benefit them to be worse and it would hurt the owner of the pick if they did better. What ramifications will there be to this logic in a post-relegation zone era? What shenanigans might we see from teams that do not own their own pick to manipulate draft odds?
It flips.
Maybe.
Now, if you don't own your pick, you have no incentive to try.
Yeah. I do feel like this exposes David not listening closely. I feel like we've hit on this in each of the last maybe 3 or 4 episodes, because I think it's very interesting how the Nets and the Bucks and the Clippers and the Pelicans don't really have their picks. I was wondering if the Clippers, last episode, I joked, they should tank out to give the Thunder the highest possible draft pick to hurt the Thunder's bottom line.
Right.
So the salary slot is more. So I do think there's going to be a thing where if you don't control your pick, those teams are going to give up more. I think there's going to be a unintended consequence.
Well, if they're bad, right? Like,
yeah,
you're not going to see like the Boston Celtics not have their pick and say, okay, hey, we're going to tank this year for, no good reason.
Right. No, the teams that are bad, if they don't own their own pick, they don't care if they end up in the relegation zone or not,
right.
Of course. And honestly, arguably, it's better if they end up in the relegation zone, because then you think this is giving the team we're giving our pick away to worse odds at getting a great pick. So it's sort of, you are incentivized, I would think, in actually losing more games. So the pick you hand over has worse odds at being high.
The Bucks especially, right? Like the Bucks could bottom out because they have players that they could get stuff for. So there's actually like, they could be moving guys, collecting assets, and it doesn't matter to them. They lose a bunch of games.
Slightly related,
they should take advantage.
Slightly related question from Jeff. How likely are we to see bad teams make win now moves at the trade deadline in an attempt to avoid the relegation zone? How will this impact the deadline as a whole?
That's an interesting thought. I hadn't really thought about teams being like, hey, we got to go for it to get out of this hole. There's DeMar DeRozan for you right there, right?
Yeah. DeMar savior
Russ
from the
comes back?
relegation zone. No, he retired, man. He hung it up. I don't think we're going to see teams even fighting relegation make win now moves. And by win now moves, I guess we could break down what that means exactly. I think of a win now move as using future assets for the short-term benefit. I don't think we're going to see that, but I do think this should hopefully free teams up from doing deals where you trade future picks for what you think could be a long-term benefit. We don't see that right now at all. Like if you're one of the worst teams in the NBA, you might even identify that so-and-so is available. The Wizards are giving away Justin Champagnie.
Right.
Or the Wizards are even open to moving one of their young guards. We have too many players. Trae Johnson is available. It used to be like if you were tanking, in my mind, you still would never send out 4 first-round picks for a young guy because you're like, why are you sending out 4 first-round picks? You're tanking. Or second-round picks. Like you're tanking, you should hang on to all your assets. I think now there should be more of an appetite, and there will be more of an appetite for teams to be like, you know what? This guy could be a long-term fit with our team. Yes, we're one of the worst teams in the NBA, but we're going to trade. Maybe it's a lightly protected first to bring in this guy who can both keep us out of the relegation zone this year, hopefully, and then also set us up for future success. So maybe you'll see a little bit more willingness of teams that stink to make moves at the trade deadline. Whether it's like a veteran, though, I guess that remains the question. Will they bring in a 34-year-old? Like, hey, Norm Powell could get us out of the relegation zone. Not that the Bulls would be totally clear of this zone in my mind, but that'll be curious. Like, this guy will help, and then he'll be on the team next year. Yeah, remains to be seen. Great questions. If you want your questions answered on air, and if you want to play fantasy football, patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. By the way, to wrap up, Dave, right now, I'm doing this Dynasty League fantasy basketball with the Patreon supporters. We have a 30-team Dynasty League with listeners, and the free agency is like we post on this message board, and it is bizarre and amazing, and also a little embarrassing. My wife saw my computer screen last night and was like, what are you doing? She's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, this is private. Okay. I'm posting on the message board, making my free agent bids for my 30-team Dynasty League. This is private.
Who acts as an agent or
the way it works is if there's a player you want, you create a thread, and then you have your bid, and there's a formula that says what your bid is worth based on the amount of money per season. It's a salary cap league that we have. It's a salary cap league, and you put your offer in, and then the number of years, and there's a formula, and then to beat the bid, you have to beat it by a certain number of points, and you have to it goes forever. It's madness. But I'm glad I got into it. Like this thing was going on for years without me doing it, and John Burr was in it, and then when John moved on to Happier Trails, I was like, yeah, I got to get in there. And it's amazing, but it also is a bit of a time suck. So thanks everybody doing that. Tyrese Maxey just got signed for an unbelievably good deal. He's basically the best guy. I'm sorry, this is Dynasty basketball.
I was like,
I just threw you. I was like, no.
Was there a deal?
In our fake Dynasty League, Tyrese Maxey just got signed for an amazing contract. Congratulations, Magnus, keeping your guy. Anyways, that's all we're doing for today. Dave, enjoy your boats. Let's find a fantasy football draft time that works out for you. Everybody else,
make that one work.
You guys are the best. Thanks for listening. And remember, breakfast is the most important thing.
Yeah, never apologize for being G&G. Fastbreak break, man. You understand?